Hello, it is still the 27th of December 2014 and about 11:12 a.m. and this is the second part of our intro, and we are doing this recording from the city of El Paso in Texas, and at a street corner, so that explains the background noises of passing cars, helicopters, and all helicopter sound and everything else you may be hearing. And like we said, the 21st century Christian Enlightenment movement is pushing for a lot of changes in our world because a lot needs to be changed to save the human race from utter collapse. There's so much that has become rotten in our world, and the people who are supposed to do something about it, they don't want to do anything about it. The typical inertia of the establishment, the typical inertia that grips every kind of establishment and makes them very, very resistive to change. That's what we're experiencing. There's a lot of changes that should be taking place, in politics, in economics, in culture, and every other. The so-called powers that be know that these changes need to happen. They know, but like I said, the characteristic inertia of the establishment, prevents any form of change from any substantial form of change from happening, and as is often the case in this kind of things, change has to be the change is something that has to be forced to happen. It just has to happen for the good of this world. This world does not belong to the so-called powers that be, whoever they may be. They just die like everybody else, whether they be presidents, whether they be prime ministers, whether they be the so-called oligarchs, whether they be anybody. They just die like you. Like anybody, they die at 80, die at 85, die at 60, die at 50. Are you getting it? They don't own this world any more than anybody else. We are all visitors to this world. This world belongs to all of us. Are you getting it? So if they refuse to change our world, then we must compel them to bring about the change for the betterment of everybody, and for future generations. Like I said, this world does not belong to the so-called establishment, so-called powers that be. It does not belong to them. Are you getting it? Because they die just like everybody else. They don't live to be 1,000 years old, and every else live to only an average of 80 years old. They just die like everybody, of the same causes, of death, at the same age, at the same everything, So this world doesn't belong to them. So that's why they have to be forced to make the changes that are necessary, to provide a better world for the present generation and the generations to come. And so that is what the 21st century Christian Enlightenment movement is all about, to bring about these changes. There are just so many things that that need to be changed. So it's not just one thing, one or two things. There are so many. Again, we pause here to finish this recording and start another one. The reason we are doing it is because to upload these recordings, these introductory recordings, we have to keep them under a certain we have to keep them under a certain size, until we're able to find means to upload bigger, larger chunks of recordings. Okay, so we start off with the next recording next.